morning. So nice to have you join us on a beautiful day in the Tennessee Valley. Spring is finally here and we can all feel it. Isn't that wonderful? If you are watching us this morning and you or someone you know is struggling right now with fertility, it's a very, very common problem. It probably has been for a long time in this country, but now it's something that we're talking about openly, and there's more to it than just simply going through the medical scientific walk. There are a lot of emotions at play there as well. So we're so happy this morning to have Katy Poole open the show with us. She has Katy Poole Wellness, and she's going to tell us why she really becomes your best friend in a way on this journey. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks so much for having me.
So I have a very dear friend who went through some infertility treatments, and this was many years ago, and she felt for a long time that she had to keep it quiet. She was afraid to even talk about it. Is that something you see?
All of the time. I feel like women oftentimes do not talk about the struggles with infertility, and struggling to get pregnant is it's very stressful. It's something that women think about all of the time, and it kind of takes over your brain when you're in that phase of life and you're wanting to start a family.
So I don't want to get too personal with you. If you want to tell your story of what led you here, you can.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So when I struggled with infertility and miscarriage, and so I did a lot of research. I've been a nurse practitioner for the last 6 years, so I got really deep into the research on what I could do on my own to help improve fertility by myself. And so fortunately, everything worked out, and we've got 2 young children now, but it made me really passionate, and it made me really understand that there is this huge need for education on ways to improve your egg health, things that you can do on your own to improve your overall fertility. And it's not something that we talk about a whole lot. It's kind of kept under the rug, and it's not something that you speak about. And so I wanted to bring awareness to that, but also help coach other people on ways that you can improve your fertility, ways that you can improve your egg health, because you can do a whole lot 3 to 4 months before trying to get pregnant, or if you're going through IVF or going to harvest your eggs for egg freezing, there's a lot of things that you can do on your own to help improve your egg quality.
Okay, so there are just some basic biological facts. A child begins to walk around 12 months old. We all have to have reading glasses by the time we're in our mid-40s. For women, you said those late 20s to mid-30s, your natural ability for your egg health diminishes.
Correct. So our fertility is going to peak in our 20s, but as we get to 30, it's going to kind of start leveling off. And at about 35, that's when we start seeing that fertility really starts to drop off. Not to say that people can't get pregnant, but you kind of have to try a little bit harder and pay attention to your cycle and pay attention to what you're eating. And for a lot of women, you're going to have to try a little bit harder than people did in their 20s just because of our biology.
Okay, every woman is different, every
Correct.
couple is different. So even if you go through something like IVF, there's no, is that how I say that right? Okay, there's no guarantee
Correct.
that it's going to work the first time, and so that's the emotional concern and the financial concern.
Correct.
So you feel very strongly that if you can give people as much knowledge as you can, their chances of it working are increased.
Exactly. So if we can kind of start planning 3 to 4 months before you're going through that, we're going to improve your likelihood of having healthy eggs. And for some people, it's a little bit longer. Some people, we've got to get other underlying health issues taken care of before we even need to consider going down that route. And so with my medical background, that's what I coach people on, is looking at your overall health history and that of your partner as well, if it is more of the IVF or infertility route, and really try to get to the bottom of any underlying issues that may also be contributing to the infertility.
So the IVF is different from the egg freezing, right?
Correct, yes.
Do people tend to do the egg freezing if there's a medical concern? Is that where that plays in?
So egg freezing is becoming more popular for a lot of reasons. It can be a lot of times for patients that have undergone cancer treatments and they want to preserve their fertility before they undergo that treatment. However, it's becoming really popular in women in their late 20s, early 30s who are career focused or haven't met their partner or are not really sure if they want to have a family. And so a lot of insurance packages are actually covering some egg freezing now. And what that does is it allows women to advance their career or meet the right partner and still kind of preserve some of their fertility in the event that they struggled to get pregnant years later. You have those eggs that are being frozen and they're just waiting to be used if you need them.
Okay, so we've long heard that the older you are as a woman when you give birth, the more likely you are to have a difficult time with that pregnancy. If you're taking as a 38-year-old woman an egg that you froze when you were 29, is the egg the 29?
The egg stays 29, and that's the beauty of egg freezing, is that you're going to have a higher quality egg if you freeze your egg at 28 or 30 rather than if you freeze your eggs at 35 or 38 and decide to have a baby closer to 40.
Okay.
So that egg will stay preserved, that the chromosomes are going to stay healthier than they would be if you were to harvest that egg at 38 versus 28 or even 30, 35. This is the time to think about freezing your eggs because that egg stays that same age.
Okay, let's suppose that you're not there yet. Let's suppose that you are, gosh, there are so many women who are diagnosed with PCOS and other types of hormonal driven issues that might make naturally conceiving difficult.
Absolutely.
If that's your worry, but you don't have the finances for the treatments, can you walk with them to help them know things they can do?
Absolutely, yep. So we kind of do a really deep health history and also understand, look at your lab work, look and see kind of where things are off, because a lot of times there's just some things that we can tweak and talk to your physician about, hey, I'm feeling like this is not controlled, and ways to improve egg health so that when you're ready to conceive, your body is more ready.
A lot of that's going to be diet and lifestyle?
A lot of it's diet and lifestyle, but some of it is supplementation and medication. Just for patients that are insulin resistant, we can talk about those types of things and ways to treat that, and just really kind of do a more thorough health history than a lot of times people are able to do because of time with their primary care or their OBGYNs. And I feel that I get to spend more time with my patients to really understand their health history so that we can kind of better understand their infertility issues and look into that really deeply.
Okay, so when they come to you, is it kind of a case by case what they need, how they sign on with you, sort of?
Absolutely, yeah. So a lot of times we kind of look at different packages, either 3 months or 6 months that we'll plan to work together, and sometimes it doesn't need to be that long, and sometimes it needs to be longer. It just is case by case per person, but usually it's about a 3 to 6 month program that we usually will work together.
And are there partners involved too? If their husband wants to talk with you, he's part of the conversation?
Yeah, so if it's a couple that's struggling with fertility, we look at both of their health history. We're gonna look at everything and talk with both of them. And when it's just women that are freezing their eggs, it's usually just the woman that I'm speaking with. And then with IVF patients, sometimes we're talking to both partners, sometimes just the woman is involved. It just kind of is, it's what works for each person.
It's such an interesting thing to me because in all parts of life, anytime you're talking with somebody who's kind of walked a similar walk, there's just a comfort level that's there. So for you to have a way to use your own experience to help other people is a great thing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to work with other people that have exactly what you're saying, have gone through the same thing, and it's so nice to hear that I'm not alone in this and somebody else has gone through the same thing, and so many of us have, and so many people just don't talk about it. So it's really nice to build this community of other people who are going through the same thing and struggling together, but also celebrate together when great things happen.
And then you can all have a play date together when the babies come.
Exactly.
So you'll find her, it's Katy Poole Wellness, her phone number or her website there, katypoole.com. She's also on Instagram, Katy Poole Wellness. That's the easiest way, just to book an appointment at your convenience.
Either way, yeah, that's the best way to get a hold of me.
All right, go to the park and play with your kids.
Yeah, absolutely, that works too.
Far too often, people are being seriously injured and hurt because of negligent drivers distracted by their cell phones. If you've been harmed by a negligent or distracted driver, the law is on your side. At Wedemark Keith, it's more to us. It's personal.
After driving cattle in the 1880s, hitting the hay could be a literal experience. But some lucky cowpokes got to sack out in a brand new Sealy mattress. And after 140 years, Sealy is still delivering a great night's sleep.
That's why Denver Mattress is proud to offer the Sealy Posturepedic Plus Anfield mattress. And right now, save up to $250 and enjoy Posturepedic support where you need it most.
Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Sealy.
Food. It's what makes our world go round. That's why there's an authentic butcher shop in every store where certified Angus beef is hand-cut every day. Nobody does food like Food City.
This week, save on certified Angus beef chuck roast $3.99 a pound. Mix or match blueberries, strawberries, or free leafy greens 3 for $10. Food Club cheese, chunk shredded or cubes, buy one get one free, and more.